Falcon fans, welcome to Iron Coaching Court here at Royal Borough Pavilion for today's Senior Day match between the Western Washington University Vikings and your Seattle Pacific University Falcons. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, and please direct your attention to the courts. It is now time for a Senior Day presentation and festivities. All right, once again, good afternoon and welcome to SBU Volleyball Senior Day. Today we honor 6 seniors who are playing their final regular season home match right here at Iron Coaching Court and Royal Borough Pavilion. Up first is number 14, Ashley Antoniak. Joining Ashley are parents Rob and Amy Antoniak and brother Robbie. Without a doubt, this has been Ashley's most successful year on the court. She leads the Falcons in kills with 211, her first time in triple digits. Ashley has delivered 28 service aces and 207 digs. She has 4 kill dig double-doubles and is approaching 300 career kills and has already made more than 300 career digs, along with being on the JNAC All-Academic team 3 times. Ashley won last year's SPU John Glancy Award for her community work and once again is heading up this year's Project Christmas Child for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Let's hear it for number 14, Ashley Antoniak. Up next is now number 6, Paige Dawson. Accompanying Paige today, her mom and dad, Robin and Scott Dawson, her brother Brayton and her sister Haley, as well as boyfriend Philip Fullerton. A 4-year Letterman winner and a defensive specialist, Paige picked up her 200th career dig earlier this season. Throughout her career, Paige has also racked up 39 service aces, the most memorable of which came during her freshman year when she dropped one in on a match point to cap a 5-set come-from-behind victory against Central Washington. Paige is also a 3-time GNAC All-Academic honoree. She is very service-minded, having already gone on a mission trip to the Dominican Republic and at some point in the future would like to do one to Africa. This is number 6, Paige Dawson. Now let's introduce number 5, Austin Ibale. Here with Austin are her parents, Ben and Cindy, sister Madison, brother Calvin, and boyfriend Harry Cavill. During her 4 years with the Falcons, Austin has racked up more than 200 assists and 100 digs. Last season, during an eventful 8-day span, she picked up her 100th career dig. That coming in an upset of nationally ranked Alaska Anchorage. Then 2 days later, she recorded her first collegiate double-double with 14 assists and a career-high 12 digs against Alaska Fairbanks. 5 days after that at Western Oregon, she earned her 200th assist. Austin also is a solid student who has been named to the GNAC All-Academic Team 3 times. This is senior setter, number 5, Austin Boy. Next up is number 17, Lindsay Lambert. Joining Lindsay today are parents Tim and Carol Lambert, her brothers Jeremy and Ryan. One of the top centers in SPU history, Lindsay picked up career assist number 2,000 during the home opener against Alaska Fairbanks, one of 22 that she had that night. Lindsay comes into today's match with 2,259. A week after the 2,000th assist, she logged her 100th kill. Then on October 22nd, here against Northwest Nazarene, she served her 100th ace. And last Saturday at Montana State Billings, she had 6 aces, part of SPU's program record 19. Lindsay has 21 career assists, dig double-doubles, and she is also a 3-time GNAC All-American Academic Selection. Give it up for Lindsay Lambert, number 17. Our 5th senior to honor is number 19, Maddie Pruden. Coming out of the court with Maddie, her dad Rick, and her stepmom Joanna. This fall has been Maddie's best year with the Falcons. She is closing in on 200 kills, having 198 coming into today, and these just 9 today to reach 500 for her career. Maddie picked up her 100th career block on September 3rd against Chaminade, and with 60 so far, has already set a single season best in that category. She has been a solid hitter from her spot on the right side with 4 matches of 400 plus and 2 of 500 plus percentage points on those last 2 this season. She is a 2-time GNAC All-Academic Selection. Ladies and gentlemen, number 19, Maddie Pruden. And our final senior today, number 12, Lindsay Rosenthal. Joining Lindsay today are her parents Tim and Amber Rosenthal. Through the course of her Falcon career, Lindsay has contributed not only as an outside hitter, but even occasionally as a libero. She is 3 kills away from her career 100th. Lindsay also has 361 career digs, collecting her milestone 200th and 300th last season. And while blocking isn't her primary task on the court, she has even gotten her hands on 22 of those during her career. For the past 3 seasons, she has been one of SPU's co-captains. Lindsay is a 2-time GNAC All-Academic Selection. Let's hear it for Falcon Senior, number 12, Lindsay Rosenthal. Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more loud round of Falcon applause for seniors Ashley Antoniak, Paige Dawson, Austin Vidali, Lindsay Lambert, Maddie Pruden, and Lindsay Rosenthal. One added note, as I mentioned, all of these women regularly have made the GNAC All-Academic Team. Well, this year, 15 SPU players were all-academic honorees. That is the most in GNAC volleyball history. Falcons, number 1. Let's hear it for those Falcon seniors, and teams head to your lines where we will begin starting lineups in just a few minutes.
Welcome to Seattle, Washington. Greg Sexton with you this afternoon on the SPU webcast. The Falcons, as the seniors were just introduced, the Senior Day festivities taking place here. We are getting ready for volleyball against the Western Washington Vikings, who have been the class of the GNAC at the top or near the top pretty much every year for quite a while. Diane Flick-Williams is in her 23rd year and has a double-digit GNAC Coach of the Year honors, meaning she has been named the GNAC Coach of the Year 10 times is what I saw in her bio, and that bio was a couple years old. So the Western Washington Vikings, definitely one of the top teams in the GNAC, and the Seattle Pacific University Falcons kind of up and coming, 11-6 in GNAC play, 13-12 overall. and they are on they've won 4 in a row. They've won 5 out of 6, and they have won 10 out of their last 13 as they started off the season 3-9. Had a lot of tough competition. So did Western Washington, as both of these teams played a lot of ranked opponents in their non-conference schedules. Western Washington has only lost twice in the GNAC, 15-2. They are in second to Alaska Anchorage this year, as Anchorage has just had a monster season, 16-1 in the GNAC and 26-2 overall for Anchorage, as they are the only team that has defeated Western Washington in GNAC play. They have done it twice, and the Vikings have beaten everybody else in the GNAC twice except for Seattle Pacific, who they've beaten once, and they're looking to sweep them as well here this afternoon. Falcons need this one to have a chance to get into the NCAA tournament. They're coming in this week 10th in the West Region rankings. The top 8 move on, and the Falcons had a good win here against Simon Fraser on Thursday night. Let's I mentioned Diane Flick-Williams, the head coach for the Western Washington Vikings. The Falcons are coached by first-year head coach Jason Ryan. He's had a pretty successful season, and he has gotten the Falcons kind of pointed in the right direction here down the stretch, with a chance, as I mentioned. This would be a huge win for the Falcons if they're able to pull it off, and may just get them over the top into that top 8 in the West region. We'll find out, as the NCAA tournament selections will be announced tomorrow, 7:30 p.m., and that's going to be on ncaa.com, I believe. You can go there to watch those live. Of course, the SPU website will be updated. Western Washington definitely in, as probably as an at-large, as Alaska Anchorage has at least clinched a share of the regular season GNAC title, but Western Washington just a game behind them, as teams are out on the floor, and looks like Western Washington is going to have Abby May serve to begin the match, as they're out there without a libero on the floor to begin things. Abigail Cunningham, the libero, on the floor for the Falcons. Falcons in the all-black except for Cunningham. There's Falcons getting called for a double touch on the first point. And it'll be 1-0 Western Washington. And May will put it in play again. Abby May, a redshirt freshman out of Issaquah, just a little ways east of here. There's an ace, as Antoniak unable to handle that one for the Falcons. And so May off to a good start, serving for the Vikings. The Falcons looking like they're going with the lineup that they had the other night. Wasn't sure, as there's a block by Gabby Kepley. Chloe Ritzesender was there as well. And it's 3-0 Vikings. Falcons going to have to get some momentum generated here. On Senior Day, sometimes you see more of the seniors. That one's out of bounds, and that makes it 3-1. Sometimes you may see more of the seniors in the lineup than normal, but this looks like the regular lineup that Jason Ryan went with the other night. They, again, are really they're trying to get into the NCAA tournament here. There's a block by Hannah Hare, and that one lands inbounds for an SPU point. 3-2 Vikings, and Allison Wilkes serving. Aliaga sets it up. And Ritza Sender sends it over. Here's Pruden tapping it back. And now the libero on the floor, Casey Woodruff for the Vikings. That one into the corner for a point. Here's Tupu Lologo in to serve for Western Washington. 4-2, the Vikings lead. Lologo out of Federal Way, Washington. And she has a another Federal Way Washington product on the roster, redshirt freshman Asia Stewart. Not sure if they were at Federal Way High School at the same time, but they both went there. 5-2. Vikings on top, and Lologo serving again. Here is Brockvogel, and yes, she landed it in. Took a second there for the official call to be made. Lindsay Lambert checks in, and so does Aaron Smith, and Lambert will serve. Ashley Antoniak, one of the seniors honored, and Lindsay Lambert, another one. Maddie Pruden up front. Maddie Pruden actually checked out. There's a block by Smith and Hare, and that'll make it 5-4.
Lambert serving for the tie.
Depending on how things go, we may see a little bit more of the seniors, Paige Dawson, Lindsay Rosenthal, Austin Ibale in particular, as they have not played a lot. There's a fake set for a point by Malia Aliaga. Aliaga, the setter for the Vikings, and she's out of Burien, Washington, went to Kennedy Catholic High School. And her father, if you follow University of Washington football, you may remember Ink Aliaga. That is her dad. Falcons come up with another point here at 6-5. And Sarah Brockvogel serving. Falcons with, there's going to be an ace for Brockvogel, as a little indecision there by Lologo on whether or not to try to handle that one. And decided to try to pull off at the last minute, but touched it. 6-6. Brockvogel serving for the lead. That one out wide and sent back into the court, and sent back over by Gabby Guncherman. Here's Aaron Smith for the Falcons. And that one, it does crawl over the net by Callie Heilborn. Heilborn out of Auburn, Washington, went to Auburn Riverside High School. And this is going to be Casey Woodruff, the libero, serving. Hannah Hare is blocked. That is Heilborn and Marisic up front. Marisic also an Auburn Riverside product. A lot of these Vikings played high school volleyball for former Vikings. That is going to be an ace as the Falcons let it go and it lands inbounds. And an ace for Woodruff. Woodruff is out of University Place, Washington, went to Curtis High School. This time Cunningham comes up with a dig, and Antoniak is blocked. Aliaga up front for the block. That'll make it 10-6.
Woodruff serves.
Woodruff serving again. Vikings have scored the last 4 after a 6-6 tie. Cunningham with the dig. Here's Hannah Hare, and that one lands in for a kill for Hannah Hare. Allison Wilkes will check back in for Hannah Hare up front, and it'll be Abigail Cunningham to serve. Aliaga sets it up, and that one off the antenna, and that's going to be Western's point there. It was Marisic with the kill, and it'll be Aliaga to serve. Gabby Kepley in up front. And that one's going to be into the seats. An ace for Aliaga. As Falcons touched it a couple of times there, but were not able to send it back over. 12-7. Vikings here in the first set. Aaron Smith taps it over. And here's Allison Wilkes spiking it over for the kill. Tolino and Pruden check back in as Smith and Lambert check out. 12-8. Western by 4 here in the first set. And Emily Tolino to serve. I was making the comment the other night with the 6 seniors graduating for the Falcons. Nice dig there by Tolino. Here's Brockvogel sending it over. They're losing a lot. They do have a pretty deep roster and a lot of players that will chip in some next year. Probably see more. Probably see bigger roles, but they do not have any red shirts. The Falcons don't have any red shirts, so really we'll see how the freshman class comes in and makes an impact for SPU next year. This is Pruden. She's blocked and it's out of bounds. It's going to be a point for the Falcons. Maddie Pruden with the kill. That'll make it 13-9. Vikings have a ton of red shirts on their roster, and some are playing, but then there's 6 of them that are just listed as red shirts, and they're not playing. So they are very deep, and they have a lot of seniors graduating as well, but they're going to be reloaded, restocked plenty next year. There's a kill for Gabby Guncherman.
For Western, number 12, Chloe Ritzesender.
Abby May will come back in and serve. Guncherman out of Lake Stevens, Washington, wearing number 22. Carly Try, haven't noticed her on the floor yet. Not sure if I don't believe she's been in the match. Put it that way. Also out of Lake Stevens. We will see Casey Woodruff checking in here for the Vikings, and Hannah Hare back in up front for the Falcons. 14-10 Vikings. Falcons trying to hang in here in this first set. Brockvogel sends it over. And sent back, and that's off Maddie Pruden's back. And that will make it 15-10 as Lologo will check back in and serve.
Also in and serving, number 8, Lologo.
15-10. And the Falcons really wanting to set a tone for this match in this first set. Hannah Hare sends it over. They can at least keep this close. There's Hannah Hare finding the corner, putting it in for the kill. 15-11. And it'll be Lindsay Lambert checking back in and serving, and Aaron Smith as well checks back in up front. 15-11. Lambert sends it over. Woodruff with the dig. And that's Guncherman sending it back for the kill. 16-11. Gabby Guncherman will serve now. And the Vikings leading by 5. Trying to pull away here in this first set. Brockvogel is blocked out of bounds. And that's going to be a Falcons point. That'll make it 16-12. Sarah Brockvogel will serve. Brockvogel out of Mukilteo, Washington. Not far north of here. That one gets by Cunningham and lands in. And that will make it a 5-point margin again for the Vikings. And Woodruff will serve. Aaron Smith with a spike in the kill there. Got a lot on that swing. 17-13. Allison Wilkes back in up front. Abigail Cunningham to serve. Falcons trying to cut into that lead. It's 4 right now as Antoniak sends it over. Lologo there for the dig. And sending it back is Heilborn. Antoniak sends it back. Here's Aliaga with the set for Heilborn. And that one lands in for a Western Washington point. That'll make it a 5-point margin again. Checking in now for the Vikings is Gabby Kepley. Sophomore from Bothell, Washington. And high school teammates of Allison Wilkes for the Falcons. And speaking of, Allison Wilkes with the spike over there. Here's Antoniak blocked, and it was Marisic actually. And that will make it a 6-point lead for Western Washington, 19-13. Jason Ryan takes a timeout and wants to talk things over with his squad. We will step aside momentarily on the SPU webcast. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion. We're at Iron Coaching Court. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as the Vikings out to a 19-13 lead here in the first set. 3 kills apiece for Gunterman and Heilborn.
Western serves.
And 3 blocks already for Marisic as Aliaga puts it in play. And Aaron Smith sends it over. Aliaga sets it up, and that's going to be a kill for Gabby Kepley. That'll make it a 7-point margin, and the Vikings pulling away here in the first set. Of course, the Falcons the other night against Simon Fraser, they won the first set 25-14. That first set really doesn't always tell you how the rest of the match is going to go. Aaron Smith sends it over. And Aliaga the diving dig. And called a carry.
Emily Toledo, number 15, and Maddie Pruden, number 19.
And that was Amifilia Maua, the official up on the platform, making the call. Diane Flick-Williams disagreeing. But they give the point to the Falcons there. The other official, Rick Lomabau, going to head over and discuss things with Philly Maua. And not sure whether we got a challenge on that one. Now Jason Ryan. They're going to replay the point. And they give the serve back to the Vikings. See if maybe Jason Ryan wants to challenge the call. It is going to be a replay of the point as the call overturned there. There's a block by Wilkes up front, but the Vikings keep it alive. Antoniak will send it over. Sent back by Heilborn. And Antoniak finds some space on the floor between a couple of Vikings. That'll make it 20-14 officially. Emily Tolino and Maddie Pruden checking in for the Falcons, and Tolino is serving. Falcons still down 6, and Tolino has that one crawl over the net, but the Vikings able to stick with it. Antoniak sends it over. Woodruff there for the dig. And that one blocked. And it lands in bounds. And the Falcons within 5 at 20-15. Tolino will serve again. Aliaga sets it up for Guncherman. And Pruden lands it out of bounds. That's going to be a point for the Vikings. 21-15. Callie Heilborn will serve.
Heilborn serves for the Vikings.
Vikings by 6 here in set number 1. This is Maddie Pruden spiking it over. Got a lot on it, but Woodruff there for the dig. Antoniak sends it over now. Aliaga diving for that one. It ends up in the net, and the Falcons take the point. 21-16. Ashley Antoniak will serve for SPU. Again, they are trying to string together a few points. There's Brockvogel with a block on Gabby Kepley, and the Falcons are within 4, 21-17. Trying to hang around in this first set. Antoniak sends it over again. Woodruff there for the dig. Here's Aliaga setting it up for Guncherman. That one blocked. They call the net violation on the Falcons. And so they blow that one dead. And Abby May will serve. Chloe Ritzesender checking back in up front as well. Ritzesender from Duval, Washington, went to Cedar Park Christian in Bothell. Wilkes is blocked by Ritzesender, and that was an emphatic block there to make it 23-17 now. Vikings back up by 6 and closing in on this first set. Ritzesender is her married name. Biskup is her maiden name, and she had a twin sister on this Vikings roster, and she was actually on the roster at the start of the season, but no longer listed on the roster. But Ritzesender still up front for the Vikings, and she sends that one over. Falcons down 5, and Pruden sends it out. And it's going to be a set point now for the Vikings. It'll be Tukulologo to serve for the first set. 24-18. And the Falcons going to need to string several together here. Pruden is blocked. Guncherman and Ritzesender were there, and that's going to do it for set number 1. The Vikings take it by a count of 25-18. We will take a break here on the SP webcast and be back in just a moment with the second set as the Vikings take the first one 25-18. We'll be right back. Welcome back inside Royal Brown Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as the Vikings take the first set over the Falcons, 25-18. These two teams, two schools, separated by about 90 miles. So a short trip down I-5 for the Vikings today. And they are guaranteed a postseason spot as an at-large at least. And they actually, Anchorage has a tiebreaker over them because they beat them twice. So they are going to be an at-large. They would potentially get a share of the GNAC title if they win here and Anchorage loses. And I believe Anchorage is at St. Martin's, so not likely that Anchorage will end up dropping that one. First set, 4 kills for Gabby Gunterman, 3 for Callie Heilborn, and 3 for Gabby Kepley for the Vikings. 10 assists for Malia Aliaga, 3 blocks for Anna Marisic, and 5 digs for Gunterman, 4 for Woodruff. And for the Falcons, they get 3 kills from Maddie Pruden, 2 apiece from Hare, Brockvogel, Antoniak, and Smith. 6 assists for Tolino, 5 for Lambert, 2 blocks for Hannah Hare, and 4 digs apiece for Sarah Brockvogel and Ashley Antoniak, 3 for Cunningham, the libero. And we are set to go here in set number 2, as Woodruff will check in for the Vikings and Cunningham for the Falcons. Good crowd on hand here for Senior Day. There are really, they kind of have the one side of the court, those bleachers rolled up, but the other side pretty full. As a bigger crowd than we normally see here. Here's Pruden volleying it over. Aliaga will set it up, and that's going to be a kill for Gunterman. And so the Vikings come out and take the first point of set number 2. Ritza Sender in up front, and Abby May serving. May will put it in play with the right hand. And Brockvogel sends it over. Aliaga right there in the corner. And this is going to be a kill. That's Kepley for the Vikings, and it is 2-0. These teams met back on September 8th in Bellingham, and the Vikings swept that one. And that one is going to be blown dead, and a double touch called on the Falcons. And the Vikings with another point. They're up 3-0. They started off with the first few points of the first set as well. The Falcons were able to get right back into it, but then the Vikings put a little bit of space in between themselves and the Falcons. And they won that set by 7, 25-18. Kepley is blocked, but it goes out of bounds. And that's going to be another point for the Vikings. They go up 4-0 here in the second set. Vikings clearly the better team between these two. Falcons are in third in the conference standings, as they come in with a record of 11-6 in the GNAC. That one's blocked and stays inbounds, and that will be another point for the Vikings. They go up 5-0 here in set number 2. And things are really going to have to break in the Falcons' favor in order for them to kind of hang in this match. Definitely capable of getting some big wins on their home floor, and that one's off of Cunningham for an ace, and that will make it 6-0 Vikings. And Jason Ryan wants to take an early timeout here in the second set, as the Vikings already up a set and out to a 6-point lead here in the second set early. We'll step aside here on the SBU webcast and be right back with you in just a moment. Back inside Royal Rome Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SBU webcast. 6-0 Vikings over the Falcons here in set number 2. And the Falcons taking an early timeout as they're trying to get up off the mat, as it were. Abby May will serve, and she has been for the last several points. This is Wilkes tapping it over, and there's a kill for the Falcons and their first point of the set. That'll make it 6-1. And it'll be Allison Wilkes to serve. Wilkes gets that one to crawl over the net and in there for an ace. That change in momentum as it hits the net. It's enough to throw off the timing for the Vikings as Ami Filimau asking for a fan to pick up her program off the floor. And now we're ready to go. Anna Hare sends it over. Nice set there by Tolino. And the Falcons have scored the last 3 after the timeout. Settling in a little bit here in set number 2. Still a tall order. As mentioned, the Vikings have beaten. There's Ritza Sender sending it over, and the Falcons unable to get it back over. 7-3. Mentioned the Vikings have beaten every GNAC team twice except for Alaska Anchorage. And Anchorage has beaten them twice. But so I should say every GNAC team except for Seattle Pacific. They're trying to sweep Seattle Pacific here. And there's Hannah Hare finding some open space again right in the middle. Lindsay Lambert will now check in and be the setter. She's going to serve at the moment. Aaron Smith back in up front as well. Lambert hits that one into the net for a service error. That'll make it 8-4.
Gabby Gunterman serving.
And it'll be Gabby Gunterman serving for the Vikings. Gunterman sends it over. Antoniak able to come up with the dig. Brockvogel sends it back. And this is going to be Heilborn. Smith couldn't get that one over. And the Vikings with a 5-point margin again, 9-4. They led 6-0, and then the Falcons came up with the next 3. Gunterman serving. Lambert cross-court set for Brockvogel. And this one is kept alive and sent back over. No, they're going to say Falcons had it, but then they were called for a double touch. So that will make it 10-4. Vikings up by 6 again. Gunterman will send it over. Brockvogel there for the dig. And she'll send it back over. Ritza Sender finds some space in the middle of the floor. And the Vikings now go up by 7, 11-4. Vikings trying to spoil the Falcons' senior day and really spoil their chances at getting into the NCAA tournament as well. That West region, the top 8 in the rankings will be in the tournament. And this one kept alive by the Falcons, and a fake set there. Falcons keep it alive again. Here's Antoniak sending it over. A couple of good recoveries there on the SPU side, but this time that one right in the middle of the floor by Heilborn. And the Falcons just kind of spaced out a little too much. And the Vikings have found that spot on the floor a few times here in the first couple of sets. It's 12-4. Here's Hare sending it over for a kill as Woodruff couldn't come up with it. And it is 12-5. Sarah Brockvogel will serve.
Sarah Brockvogel serving.
The Falcons, though, needing this one really in order to have any realistic shot. That one's out of bounds. Service error by Brockvogel.
Point for the Vikings.
13-5. They are third in the GNAC, and they are going to be at least tied for third. Central Washington is a game behind them. Central Washington will host Northwest Nazarene coming up at 7 p.m. tonight. And there's Antoniak spiking it over for the kill. 13-6. Cunningham will serve. Falcons, though, their overall record just 13-12, as they did start with a less than optimal. Here's Marisic for the kill. Less than optimal non-conference start to their season. They went 2-6 in non-conference play. They did play a lot of tough teams. 14-6, Western Washington, and Aliaga serving. And this will be Erin Smith, and she's blocked, and the Falcons keep it alive and send it back over. Kepley taps it over, and no, she didn't get it over. That one is going to be a point for the Falcons. Tolino and Pruden back in.
And number 19, Maddie Pruden.
14-7. And the Falcons really going to have to go on a run here to get back into this set. Tolino sends it over. Gunterman volleys it over underhanded. Here's Pruden with a spike in the kill. Aliaga couldn't come up with it. And Maddie Pruden gets the Falcons back within 6. 14-8. Tolino will serve again. Gunterman the dig. And Marisic sends it over. Pruden blocked. And that was Heilborn coming up with a block. And she'll serve now. 15-8. Vikings by 7. Vikings looking to go up 2-0. And that one is in there. Antoniak sends it over for the kill. 15-9. Antoniak will serve for the Falcons. Marisic sends it over. And there's Wilkes, and it was deflected. And Allison Wilkes with the kill. That'll make it 15-10. Here's Antoniak serving again. This is Gunterman, and she's blocked. Wilkes up front along with Pruden. And the Falcons back within 4, 15-11. They've scored the last 3. They need a little longer run or a not necessarily all points in a row, but a sustained period here of outscoring their opponents. That one's going to be in there on the western side as they're unable to get it back over. Diane Flick-Williams going to take a timeout as the Falcons have scored the last 4 to get back to within 3 at 15-12 here in the second set. And the Falcons not going away yet. And we will take a break here on the SPU webcast and be right back with you in just a moment. Back to Iron Coaching Court. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast this afternoon. Senior day for the Falcons. And the last regular season match in GNAC play is the NCAA tournament bracket going to be announced tomorrow night. Ashley Antoniak serving, and the Falcons have scored the last 4. This is Kepley sending it over. And that is going to be the Vikings point. The initial reaction there is a little confused from my vantage point up here, but it was definitely a Vikings point. Here's Abby May serving. Tolino sets it up for Wilkes, and a spike and a kill by Allison Wilkes. Gets the Falcons right back within 3. Anna Hare will check back in up front, and Wilkes will serve. Woodruff on for the Vikings. 16-13 here in set number 2. This is Guncherman, and Antoniak is there for the dig. Brock Vogel sends it back. Aliaga sets it up for Guncherman. She's blocked, but comes down on the SPU side. Pruden sends it back. And now Kepley sending it over. Brock Vogel will volley it over with 2 hands. Kepley taps it over, and Wilkes tried to come up, but it's a kill for Gabby Kepley. And that will make it 17-13.
Lologo in, serving.
Tupu Lologo to serve. Vikings lead by 4. And Lologo, the jump serve. Anna Hare spikes it over, and a good kill there by Woodruff. Guncherman sends it over, and they're going to rule that the Falcons did touch that one. And so it'll be a point for the Vikings. It is 18-13. Vikings trying to just keep a little distance between themselves and the Falcons. The Falcons were able to get back within 3 a couple of times. This one kept alive, but out of bounds. It goes over the net and out of bounds. And it's going to be a 6-point lead now for the Vikings. They've scored the last 3. Lologo will serve again. Vikings trying to go up 2-0. And the Falcons have yet to take a set from these Vikings this year. That one lands on the Falcons side. Gabby Guncherman the kill. 7-point margin for the Vikings. They were up 15-8. The Falcons got back to within 3. And now the Vikings back up by 7 again. Timeout called by SPU as they find themselves down 20-13 in the second set. We'll be right back in just a moment on the SPU webcast. Back inside Royal Broen Pavilion as the Vikings back up by 7, 20-13 here in the second set. And they took the first one by 7, 25-18.
Coming in for the Falcons, number 26,
Sidney Perry going to check in for SPU for Brock Vogel. And so we saw Jason Ryan put Perry in to serve in the fourth set against Simon Fraser on Thursday. And there's Perry with a kill. And she had an ace on her first serve in the fourth set the other night. And comes in and comes off the bench. Makes an impact right away. 20-14. Lindsay Lambert will put it in play. And that one sent over by Aritza Sender. Hits the ceiling. Aaron Smith sends it back. This is Heilborn spiking it over. Guncherman. And Hare had it set up, and the Falcons do get it over. Now here is Guncherman, and it lands out. Falcons will take the point. And that was close to hitting that back line. And it'll be Lambert to serve. Guncherman taps it over, and the Falcons can't handle it. Vikings go back up by 6, 21-15, and Guncherman will serve. I said they're up. Yes, they are up 6, 21-15 as they put it up on the scoreboard. Here's Perry tapping it over. And Aritza Sender spiking it over for the kill. And the Vikings again up by 7. Gabby Guncherman will serve. And the Vikings closing in on the second set. Cunningham with a good diving dig there to keep it alive. One-handed off the floor there. Aritza Sender taps it over. And now here's Perry, and she's blocked. Aritza Sender was right there. And Heilborn as well. And the Vikings now lead by 8. 23-15. Guncherman will serve. Lambert for Smith, and that one, a diving dig there by Woodruff to keep it alive, and the Vikings get it back over. Aaron Smith, again, another crack at it. It's blocked. Smith a third time. And here is Heilborn. Hannah Hare dumps it over for the kill.
Great job up front.
And the Falcons outlast the Vikings on that point. 23-16. Perry will serve. And the Falcons need a whole bunch of points here in a row. And there's a fake set by Aliaga, but the Falcons ready for it. Smith sends it over, and that's going to be a kill for Aaron Smith. That'll make it 23-17. Sydney Perry, a junior from Cave Creek, Arizona. And she's played a big role this year at times, and we've seen her come off the bench these last couple of matches, and now she's going to check out for Brock Vogel. And the Vikings going to serve for the second set. Casey Woodruff will be serving with the score at 24-17. Lambert will set it up for Hare, and there's a spike and a kill by Hannah Hare. Hare out of Walla Walla, Washington. There we go. Cunningham going to serve. She's out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. One of the few that is a little further further distance from the Northwest. There's a fake set by Aliaga, and they keep it alive. Thought that that one was done, but now it is, as Anna Marisic sends it over for the final point. And both of the first two sets are won by the Vikings by a margin of 25-18. Vikings looking to finish off the Falcons in 3 sets. Falcons will have some time to talk things over and reset. They have to dig out of a 2-0 hole here, and they will try to do it when we come back with set number 3 in just a couple of minutes here on the SPU webcast. Back inside Aurora Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Vikings take both sets 1 and 2 by a 25-18 margin. And the Falcons just needing a few more points to kind of get over the top in both of those sets, but unable to hang with the Vikings in really both of those sets. Kind of went similarly, but looking at some stats through the first 2 sets, I'm actually a point behind on my live stats, as the second is still showing 24-18 in the second set. But Vikings with 8 kills from Gabby Gunterman, 7 from Gabby Kepley, and I believe it was Marisic that had the final one. I think she's up to 3. Chloe Ritzesender with 6 kills, 23 assists for Malia Aliaga, 4 blocks apiece for Marisic and Ritzesender. and 3 apiece from Kepley and Heilborn. 11 digs from Casey Woodruff, 7 digs from Gabby Guncherman. For the Falcons, 7 kills from Hannah Hare, 4 apiece from Wilkes and Antoniak and Pruden. 15 assists for Emily Tolino, 8 for Lindsay Lambert, and a couple of blocks apiece for Wilkes and Hare. 10 digs for Ashley Antoniak, 5, make it 7 for Sarah Brockvogel, and 5 apiece from Cunningham and Lambert. Looking around the GNAC this afternoon, Simon Fraser is at Montana State Billings, and just refreshed my GNAC volleyball page, and that one has not gone final yet. It started an hour earlier than this one, but that's the last match of the season for those 2 teams. Neither one of them going to go to the NCAA tournament. Alaska Fairbanks is at Western Oregon, and they started at the same time as this one, and neither of those teams moving on either. But Alaska Anchorage coming up at St. Martin's at 5. They will be in as the GNAC champion, and if they end up tying with Western Washington, they have the tiebreaker. Northwest Nazarene at Central Washington coming up at 7 o'clock tonight as we get underway with set number 3. Wilkes sends it over, and the Vikings able to send it back. Heilborn just kind of got in the way of that one, and it ended up back on the Falcons side of the net. So just right place, right time there, as this is going to be Abby May to serve. But there's a kill for Gabby Kepley. And the Vikings, again, off to an early lead here in the 3rd set, 2-0. And May to serve again. Antoniak, and there's Guncherman sending it over. Here's Perry. That's going to be a kill for Sydney Perry. And the Falcons back to within a point at 2-1 here in the 3rd set. Hannah Hare in for the Falcons. And Casey Woodruff in for Western. Allison Wilkes to serve for the Falcons. This is Kepley sending it over, and Tolino diving for it. Perry sends it back. It's blocked. It's on the Western side. Guncherman sends it over. Nice dig there by Antoniak. Here's Perry sending it over. Guncherman sends it back. That one hit the net, but the Falcons keep it alive. Aliaga sets it up for Ritza Sender, and that will make it 3-1 Western. Tupu Lalogo will check in and serve.
Tupu Lalogo is in now and serving for Western Washington.
Definitely Anchorage in and Western Washington in to the NCAA tournament, and the GNAC really could end up with a 3rd team, maybe a 4th team in as well. The West region, of course, made up of 3 conferences, and the 3 conference championships, or the 3 conference champions, as Antoniak can't come up with that one, they will head to the NCAA tournament, and then there will be 5 at-large bids between the 3 conferences. Central Washington looking like they're in a good spot. They, particularly if they win tonight over Northwest Nazarene. And SPU pretty much needs to win this one to have any shot at getting in. I think if they do win this one, they will have a good shot. There's a fake set there by Aliaga, but the Falcons able to return it. Guncherman right there to send it back, though. And the Vikings go up 6-1 here in the 3rd set. I may have given them 1 point too many. I believe it is 5-1. Sidney Perry taps it over. It's blocked. Ritza Cinder and Aliaga over there. Now it's 6-1.
Western Washington point.
And Jason Ryan, another early timeout here in set number 3. And we will step aside on the SPU webcast as well. Vikings up 2-0, trying to sweep aside the Falcons here on their senior day. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 6-1 Vikings here in the third set. And they are, again, looking to sweep aside the Falcons. And the Falcons got to put some points together as they find themselves down again. And Tutupulologo serving. Here's Hannah Hare sending it back. And that's going to be another point for the Vikings. Chloe Ritzesender sends it over. And it is 7-1. GNAC really, Anchorage and Western Washington, and then everybody else kind of not on the same level as those teams clearly the class of the conference. And there's another point for Western, 8-1. Anchorage has just had a remarkable season this year, though. They beat the Vikings twice. Their only loss was in conference play anyway, as there's Pruden sending it over for a kill. The Anchorage Seawolves lost to the Simon Fraser Red Leafs. Falcons split with the Red Leafs, each winning on their home floor. As the Falcons won in 4 sets over Simon Fraser on Thursday night. Lambert catches the net on the way over, and that's going to be an ace. 8-3. You never really can try to hit the net, because if you do, most likely going to not clear the net. But that one spiked over by Gunterman for the kill. 9-3 Western, and Gunterman will serve. Gabby Gunterman, as we mentioned, out of Lake Stevens, Washington. Kind of about halfway between here and Bellingham. There's a block by the Vikings, and it is 10-3 here in the third set. Vikings with a pretty dominant performance here so far this afternoon. Sydney Perry sends it over for a kill. That'll make it 10-4.
Falcons point.
And Perry going to serve now. Falcons are really going to have to get the momentum shifted in their favor. That is going to be called a double touch on Aliaga. That'll make it 10-5. Perry will serve again. Talking about the Northwest Nazarene Central Washington matchup later on tonight. If Northwest Nazarene is able to win that one, they possibly could get into the tournament as well. So there is a a kill for the Vikings, making it 11-5. Northwest Nazarene is just 9-8 in conference play, but 16-9 overall. Pretty solid season for them. And they were in third here when they beat the Falcons a couple of weeks ago, or actually 3 weeks ago now, here at Royal Brown Pavilion. Falcons' only 2 home losses so far have been to Anchorage and to Northwest Nazarene. That one dumped over by Heilborn.
Tap down from up front, Vikings point.
And that will make it 12-5. Vikings again out to a bit of a lead. And the Falcons with a large deficit. And there's Antoniak spiking it over for the kill. 12-6.
Point for the Falcons, and Allison Wilkes is in.
So it'll be interesting to see how things shake out. The other 2 conferences, both with a lot of teams from the state of California, making up the West region. That's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to be another point for the Falcons. Can't say that I've been following those other 2 conferences very closely. Nice dig there by Gunterman, sends it back over. Lambert, cross court for Pruden. Make it Antoniak, rather. Antoniak sends it over for the kill. Pruden is not on the floor right now. Antoniak there for the kill. Falcons have scored the last 3. It's 12-8. And Cunningham serving again. Aliaga cross court set for Heilborn, and that's going to be a kill for Callie Heilborn.
Heilborn with the kill. And the point for Western.
Gabby Kepley checking in up front for the Vikings. And Malia Aliaga will serve. Aaron Smith has that one blocked out of bounds. It's a point for the Falcons.
Falcons point, Maddie Pruden, Emily Toledo.
Here's Pruden back in along with Tolino. 13-9. Vikings up 4. And the Falcons really needing to make a sustained run here. That one sent over by Heilborn for the kill.
That's it for a Western point.
And Jason Ryan immediately going to challenge this call. He thought that it was out, and the Falcons didn't touch it. So Rick Lomabau, the official near the scorers table, is going to review this one. And we'll get a verdict here momentarily. 14-9 as it stands now, but Jason Ryan certainly thought that that one was hit out of bounds. And we'll see if he's got a valid beef here. May have just kind of challenged the call rather than taking a timeout, as he's only got 1 left. And may just kind of want to kind of unofficially have a timeout and a chance to discuss things with his squad. As no, we don't have the benefit of viewing the replay ourselves here. That was a fairly quick decision, and they stay with the call. And so Western will take a 14-9 lead here. Callie Heilborn will serve. Antoniak is there. Pruden sends it back over. Aliaga sets it up for Gunterman. That one pops up in the air, and the Falcons keep it alive. Pruden is blocked, and the Falcons keep it alive. Antoniak taps it over. Woodruff is there for the dig. And sent over by Marisic for the kill.
advantage.
And the Vikings with a 6-point lead again, 15-9. Heilborn will serve again. And Antoniak had that one go over, and now they blow it dead.
2 hits and a Falcons point.
They call it a double touch on the
For your
Vikings.
Falcons, Ashley Antoniak is serving.
And so the Falcons catch a break there, and they close back to within 5. 15-10, Ashley Antoniak serving, and the Falcons really going to need to string together several points, and they don't there.
Right side kill
As
by Gabby Kepley, and a point
Gabby
for
Kepley
Western.
sends it over for the kill, and it is 16-10.
Substitutions, one of them for Western, going to serve Abby May.
Abby May in serving for the Vikings. That one's going to go out.
Out it goes, service error. Falcons point.
Falcons will get it back.
Lindsay Lambert returns, make that Hannah Hare returns for you.
Hannah Hare in up front for the Falcons,
Wilkes
and
serves.
Allison Wilkes will serve. 16-11. And the Falcons, again, looking for a run. Here's Sydney Perry, and that one
Last touch by Western.
is sent out of bounds,
Off the slam from Sydney Perry.
and it'll be a kill for Perry.
Point Falcons.
That gets the Falcons back within 4, 16-12. Wilkes will serve again. Aliaga sets it up for Kepley, who taps it over. Wilkes is there. Sent over by Hare, but blocked. Here is Pruden now. That one is blocked out of bounds, and it's a point for the Falcons.
By Western.
Back within 3. 16-13. And Allison Wilkes will serve again. Aliaga will set it up for Gunterman, and it's blocked by Hannah Hare. And the Falcons back within 2. Diane Flick-Williams will take a timeout and talk things over with her squad. Falcons have gotten back into this third set. They're down just 2, 16-14. We'll step aside for just a moment on the SBU webcast, and we'll be right back with you. Back to action here inside Royal Brome Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SBU webcast this afternoon. Final match of the regular season. The SBU going to play host here to the Elite 8 coming up. And the Falcons kind of on the outside looking in at this point as Ritzesender sends it over. As the regional going to be at campus sites. Western may end up hosting, as Alaska Anchorage is hosting a basketball tournament. And we'll see, but Vikings maybe trying to get back here for the Elite 8. As the Elite 8 will take place here inside Royal Brome Pavilion. Here's Pruden sending it over. And now Heilborn. Here's Sydney Perry. She's blocked. Ritzesender and Aliaga were there for that one. And the Vikings back up by 4 now, 18-14. Lologo will serve. Vikings have scored the last 2 out of the timeout. Perry the dig. Here's Tolino setting it up for Pruden. And now Ritza Sender blocked out of bounds, and that's Western's point. 19-14. Vikings back up by 5, and Jason Ryan now wants a timeout as his squad was within 2, and they have had the last 3 points go against them. They're back down by 5. We'll step aside again here on the SP webcast and be right back with you in just a moment. (19-14). Vikings lead in the 3rd set as we come back to action here inside Royal Brougham Pavilion with the Falcons already down 2-0 and trying to string together some points here and at least get this to a 4th set. But Vikings up by 5. Lologo serving. And Pruden spikes it over for the kill. That'll make it 19-15. Lambert and Smith will check back in. And Lindsay Lambert going to serve here. And Ritza Sender blocked by Perry and Hare. Falcons with the last 2. And Lindsay Lambert serving again here. And that one's in the net. Vikings would go back up by 4. And not a good not that there's any good time for a service error. But this will be now Gabby Gunterman serving. 20-16 here in the 3rd set. Aaron Smith sends it over. And sent over by Ritza Sender for the kill. And the Vikings, just like that, go back up by 5 again. 21-16.
And it goes as a Western Washington point.
Western just a little too much for the Falcons here on the Falcons senior day. Perry sends it over. And Gunterman sends it back. And Perry is blocked by Ritza Sender. And that will make it a 6-point margin for the Vikings, who are closing in on a sweep. Gabby Gunterman serving. Really all 3 of these sets have kind of gone according to about the same formula. That one blocked by Hannah Hare. No, it is a Western point. And it is now 23-16. Gunterman will serve again. Here's Perry, and Lologo there for the dig. Gunterman sends it back. Antoniak is there. And spiked over by Heilborn for the kill. And it is a match point now with Gabby Gunterman serving. And the Vikings trying to make quick work of the Falcons here. As this one just Well, we did actually started less than an hour and a half ago because of the Senior Day festivities. Here's Hare sending it over. And now Heilborn. Perry is there. Heilborn again. Perry keeps it alive. Aliaga sets it up. And Perry is there again. Cindy Perry sending it over. And a good dig there by Gunterman, and that is going to do it. Ritzesender sends it over, and that will send the Vikings into the NCAA tournament. Not that they had already had wrapped up a spot, but the Falcons most likely coming up short of a postseason bid. It's been a good run for the Falcons, digging out of an early hole. They went 3-9 in their first 12 matches. Got their record back up over 500 coming into this one at 13-12. They dropped to 13-13 overall to finish the season, and they go 11-7 in GNAC play. Most likely, as we mentioned, coming up just short of an NCAA tournament at-large bid. As the Vikings will be in for sure, Anchorage will be in for sure. Central Washington, if they can get a win over Northwest Nazarene later tonight, they most likely will be in as well. And that may be it. Northwest Nazarene may be on the outside looking in as well. Northwest Nazarene, if they win, they may have a chance as well. But the Vikings making quick work of the Falcons today. 25-18, 25-18, 25-16, as the Falcons do not reach the 20-point mark in any of the three sets this afternoon. So a lot of momentum coming into their senior day, and Vikings just too much. Definitely the better team on the floor this afternoon and on most days. Vikings sweep the season series with the Falcons, and the Falcons did not take a set from the Vikings in either of the two matches, either September 8th in Bellingham or this one today, as the Falcons started their GNAC schedule with the Vikings and then ended it as well. Let's take a look at some of the final stats here. Let's actually update you one match has gone final in Billings, and Simon Fraser goes into Billings and knocks off Montana State Billings in 4 sets. Alaska Fairbanks is at Western Oregon right now, and they started at the same time as this one. Anchorage will be at St. Martin's at 5 o'clock. And Northwest Nazarene will be at Central Washington at 7. And that'll be an interesting one in terms of the impact for the NCAA tournament. Looking at the final stats here, Chloe Ritzesender, 13 kills. Gabby Gunterman, 13 kills. 8 kills apiece for Callie Heilborn and Gabby Kepley. They got 39 assists from Malia Aliaga. Ritzesender with a 500 hitting percentage in this one. 2 aces for Abby May. 9 blocks for Ritzesender. Just a block short of a double-double with 13 kills. And 4 blocks apiece for Marisic, Aliaga, Kepley, and Heilborn. And 3 players in double figures in digs for the Vikings. Casey Woodruff with 16 digs. 14 for Heilborn, 13 for Gunterman. She has a double-double, 13 kills and 13 digs. And for the Falcons, Maddie Pruden and Hannah Hare, each 7 kills. No Falcon in double figures in kills, as Ashley Antoniak also has 6 in her final match. Allison Wilkes leading the Falcons in hitting percentage at .429, just had 4 kills, a couple of blocks. Emily Tolino, 18 assists. Lindsay Lambert, 12 assists. An ace apiece from Wilkes, Brockvogel, and Lambert. and 4 blocks for Hannah Hare. 12 digs for Antoniak, 11 for Tolino, 9 for Abigail Cunningham. So the Falcons, good season, but that is most likely it for them, as Jason Ryan in his first year really had a successful season. See if he can build on that next year, and going to get to work right away building next year's team, kind of reloading with the Falcons losing 6 seniors here, and going to figure out kind of who's coming back and who they can add to the puzzle. Vikings will move on to the NCAA tournament, and we will see where they end up. If they're hosting a regional, potentially they will. But that's going to do it for us here on the SPU webcast this afternoon. The Vikings over the Falcons in 3 sets, 25-18, 25-18, 25-16. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you next year for volleyball. We'll be back on with some basketball coming up pretty quickly here from Royal Bourne Pavilion. So tune in for that. Have a good rest of your weekend.